Good morning, Patriots. JT, Serenity Farms prepping here. The UFO alien narrative that's really being pushed right now. I wasn't gonna jump into it, but the more they push it, the more I felt a need to give you my opinion on what it's all about, which probably isn't that much different from opinions of others that you've heard. Now, let me say that I honestly don't know if they're real or not. I have to believe that there's no possible way we can be the only intelligent beings in the universe. Now, that could lead to another topic about what you believe the universe entails. Yeah, flat versus round, dome versus forever. Now, last year, we had just got back from an event. It was dark out, beautiful, starry night. The skies are always extremely clear here at the compound. And we looked up right there where that cloud is. And we're just looking at the stars. And then out of nowhere, 8 stars came across, did a loop, and went back the way they came. To my knowledge, there are no aircraft that can do that. Not like that. Maybe a drone could do it, but these were far, far away, far higher than a drone could get. Needless to say, we just stood there kind of mouth agape, wondering what we had just seen. Every night, the girlfriend, if we out in the dark sitting around the fire, she'd be like, I'm afraid to look up. Coincidentally, just a couple weeks later, we were at a party where one of the young people at that party is actually a member of Space Force. He was home on leave from wherever he's stationed, which he said he actually wasn't allowed to say. All right, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Maybe he likes the air of mystery. Who knows? Take him at his word. So I said, okay, nothing for nothing. Here's what happened. And he looked right at me and said, oops, sorry about that. Matter of factly, they weren't UFOs. So I'm like, okay. So you're telling me that the government has craft that can do this? And he smiled, and I knew where he was going, and he said, no, the government doesn't. So he's a conservative. Young guy, seemed kind of braggadocious, wanting to be important, wanting to tell more, not being able to, barely able to resist. You know how when someone knows something that they are pretty sure nobody else knows, they gotta share it. It's wearing at them. I get it. We've all had a secret that we just had to tell. And sometimes we try and do it just like he was, revealing it without revealing it. So I do believe at one time there are legitimate unidentified flying objects, and an alien is defined as something that is not normal to us. Anything can be alien. Okay? So those two terms have been twisted and turned, used to the advantage of whatever person is trying to push a certain narrative. Okay? That's word salad. That's what people do to push their agenda. So, do I believe all these supposed, I'm doing chores as well. All these supposed whistleblowers that are coming forward, and all we're hearing about lately is UFO this, UFO that. Even some supposedly conservative people are bringing it up. Why? Well, we've known, most of us have known that Project Bluebeam was predicted to be the last gasp by the deep state. When every other narrative fails, which they are, the last gasp was an alien invasion. Partly to convince us that there's no God, because the aliens are going to tell us that they created us and we are an experiment. Now, eliminating God serves the ultimate purpose for those wanting to exterminate mankind. The Constitution clearly states that all our rights were given to us by God, and no man shall take away those rights. So the Constitution verifies, justifies that there is a God, because all the rights we have were given to us by Him. If the Democrats, the deep state, the globalists can eliminate God from our consciousness, then they can do away with the Constitution. Hence their attempts to convince us there's no God. That's my opinion on what the UFO alien invasion is going to be all about. Now, at some point I do believe that there are other beings. And I believe that they have to be more technologically advanced than we are. Because as dumb as we are, there's no possible way there can't be more intelligent life. Whether they actually came from the cosmos or Antarctica or under the ocean, we may never know. All of the narratives put out there on a daily basis are to keep us confused and talking like we are now. If there's so many choices out there, then there's never a definitive answer. And they're not going to give us one because they need to keep us constantly confused and wondering. So, in this day of CGI, AI, holographs, I mean, if they can do it in the movie, they can do it to us in real life. And they're going to. And sadly and disgustedly, probably half the population is going to fall for it. The liberals will be easy. Most of them already don't believe in God. And they'll believe anything that Democrats tell them to. The other half of the country, half of those people are so worn down over the last few years. Mentally, they're weak and fragile and grasping for anything that explains some of the stuff that they're confused about. So they'll probably succumb to the scam. I believe that we do have crafts. I don't know where we got them. We reverse engineered probably. They've been playing around, setting this up, at the same time potentially working hand in hand with some actual beings. I'm not going to call them aliens because they probably were here before we were. I don't know if we'll ever get full disclosure on anything. I don't know how much longer we're all going to be here. Personally, I think everything is a big PSYOP. The cultists, the idolatry of a savior, the demon rats, their devil worship, everything is stacked against us, and nobody wants to seem to do what has to be done to fix it. And you all know that's not sitting and peacefully protesting. That's where we're at, or at least it's where I'm at. Pay attention. That's all I got for now. JT, signing out.